When May 1st finally came, there were strikes and protests all over the world, even some in Texas, but ours in Chicago was the biggest. We marched down Michigan Avenue 200,000 strong. What a day. The bosses just couldn't stand it. In fact, the bosses couldn't stand it so bad that they had the police shoot down some of the picketers over at the McCormick Works. You know, where they make farm implements? They shot them dead for picketing, plain and simple. Well, we weren't going to take that. We decided to throw together a rally on May 4th, and we picketed the Haymarket Square, where they buy and sell hay. There, from a bed of the wagon, the speakers were to address the crowd.
Yes, and that's when the riot started.
Riot? Man, you really don't know much at all, do you? There wasn't a riot. It was a simple, peaceful assembly. Shoot, when Albert and I were there, the mayor of Chicago was in attendance. There was no riot.
Well, but Albert was arrested for rioting, wasn't he?
What Albert was arrested for and what happened are entirely different things. Albert was framed. When the shooting started, we weren't even there. Albert spoke early in the rally, and then we left. We were sitting in a restaurant when the cops did what they did.
Well, if you weren't there, how do you know what happened?
Because I knew everybody that was there, and because I worked on our defense case every waking hour for the next year and a half, and then after the hangings. I spent my next 55 years fighting and struggling for the justice that had been denied my husband and the other Haymarket martyrs. That's how I know. Maybe you ought to explain how it is that you don't know. So here's what happened after we left. Like a lot of rallies, the Haymarket rally went on too long. Most of the speakers and most of the crowd, including the mayor, had already left around dusk when the police, for whatever reason they might have had, decided to attack the people still there. They used their revolvers, a bomb went off, and when it was over, 60 people were injured or dead. Several of them were cops. I can explain all that. I already told you that Albert wasn't guilty because he wasn't there. But that doesn't mean that anybody else from outside was guilty, even if they were there.
But you just said the police were killed.
I'll start with the ones that got shot. They had new guns and a new kind of ammunition. And what do you think they found when they dug the bullets out of those dead cops? It was that same peculiar kind of ammunition that only the police had. They must have attacked from two different sides and actually shot each other. And as for the bomb, you can check with historians around Chicago right now. They'll tell you that the rally crowd was running back from the cops when the bomb came arcing in over their heads.